Muslim YouTuber Mufti Abu Layth's home invaded over views on Palestine. So I could talk about this news literally for an hour straight. This is a big thing that happened this past week. So in Birmingham, the United Kingdom, on May 17th, prominent YouTuber and Muslim theologian Mufti Abu Layth's home in Birmingham was attacked by a masked mob waving Palestinian flags. The attack arose from controversial comments that Abu Layth had made many months before regarding the plight of Palestinians living under Israeli rule, where he suggested that migrating out of the land may be a solution to save human lives, among other things, which we will discuss. These comments resurfaced and were highlighted in light of the recent war between Israel and Gaza. The assault on his home can be seen in an online video released by one of the mob members and allegedly posted to WhatsApp. In the video, the mob can be seen throwing rocks and then breaking into his home in the early hours of the morning. As the men entered the home, the mob can be heard yelling about how Abu Layth had disrespected Palestine. Abu Layth firmly identifies as a Palestine supporter. Even though his family was unhurt, this incident left his young daughter traumatized. This attack was reported to the West Midland Police, and the unit is investigating the situation.
Okay, I'm gonna play the video this time with audio, just so you guys see how intense the whole situation was. So basically, the summary is that this guy, he's pro-Palestine, anti-Israel. However, he's like a reformist mufti, and his takes are a lot different from most average mainstream Muslims, right? To say the least. I'm not going to go into details, but the things like he has said so many other things that has made especially these more conservative Muslims very angry. But this was like a red line for them when he said that the Palestinian cause is basically
we've lost. Israel won.
Yeah,
like,
Israel
give it up.
wins.
Now it's about saving human lives.
Yeah, let me just finish what I'm saying. Basically saying that the Palestinian, it's better just for the Palestinians to just leave Israel, right? To just leave and just go find home somewhere else. And that was like a major red line for people for these Muslims. Okay, and they attacked his house. So let's actually watch the video. Let me actually unmute.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Kali, like me, then that means that you probably want more blasphemous art. Well, I have good news for you. If you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below, then you get a free booklet of some of the tastiest blasphemous art available today. So, if you want some of this delicious blasphemy, and we're so generous that we update it for you guys weekly for free, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter below. You can also go to blasphemousart.com/ebook. That's blasphemousart.com/ebook. Sign up with your email, and you get free gifts of this tasty blasphemy. What could be better? So make sure you sign up. Link below.
There we go. Let me know if you have audio, okay?
Yo, this is for the dirty dog Abu Layth who disrespect our brothers and sisters of Palestine. Yeah.
Wow.
Come on, you mother. Come on, you mother. Yo, where the Abu Layth? Where is Abu Layth? Where is Abu Layth? Where is Abu?
Anyways, yeah, that's kind of scary, especially if you have your family living there. Like, he has 2 daughters. Imagine like aggressive men yelling like this, breaking stuff, coming at your house, and you have your children there.
Yeah, so my understanding is that he wasn't home then. It was just like his wife and at least one of his daughters.
Wow. That's even worse. I wish I was, imagine hearing about it and not even being there to defend them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like really. Today there's a lot I could get into. I could talk about this alone for like an hour. So his comments, one thing that he said in particular, because I went to watch his comments right before this stream so that I could remember very specifically what he said. One thing that he said that really pissed people off the wrong way, it was the comments that were highlighted that led to this. He had actually made these comments months ago around the time that the UAE normalized relationships with Israel with the so-called Abraham Accords. And then they just came back and were surfaced, in light of the recent war. And I am calling it a war. So he used specific words when he was talking about one, admitting or claiming that Palestine was lost, that Israel's won. That itself is highly controversial. That itself is going to get massive backlash. And he was saying these things like very casually, which surprised me. And he also used the words exile, like Palestinians should be exiled from the West Bank, Gaza, historical Palestine, or what some people call Palestine 48. And it was this use of this word exile when I think he was intending to say exodus that really pissed off a lot of people. Because
honestly, does it I don't know if it matters. Like, a lot of people are trying to say, like, well, that's not what he meant. He meant this. They took him out of context. But to me, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into this. All of this seems to me suggest that, well, if he actually meant those things that people say he did, that it somehow justifies this attack. Like, does it really matter?
Well,
does it really matter if he was like he even Mufti Abu Layth's apology, his video coming out and defending himself was like, I never said these things. I am pro-Palestine. I'm against Israel. People accuse me of not being a Muslim. I'm not a kafir. I'm not an unbeliever. I'm a Muslim. These people are misrepresenting me. I mean, like, dude, they attacked your house with your children, your wife and children there. Like, so even if those were your actual views, this is like not the point. Your views are not the point. They attacked your house, right? They attacked your house. I mean, what does it mean? Like, people are like, oh no, those are not his views. Wait, so you're saying that if those were his views, then these people would be a bit more justified to attack him, right? Or people say, like, even Mufti Abu Layth, he himself is like, I'm not a kafir, I'm a Muslim. And he said he did the shahada, like, after this attack, he came and said, like, here, he did the shahada to show that he's a Muslim.
Times.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? So wait, so you're saying that if these people are right and you're actually a Murtad and you actually have left Islam, that would somehow make this attack more justified? So what? So they should attack us instead of you? Like, he's like, I'm not a kafir. Oh, okay. So the attack was not justified. These people should have attacked our houses because we are the kafirs. Like, I don't understand the defense. I mean, I'm not trying to like dismiss how much he's under stress and his family is under stress. All of this is like really bad, but can you focus on what the crime here is? The crime is not that they took you out of context. The crime is that they attacked you. Anyways, you have your hands up.
Well, you're kind of getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. I just wanted to lay out what his views are to the audience, but I'm completely on the same board with you and same attitude exactly, that like his views are irrelevant to this attack being something that should be completely condemned, but I just wanted to lay out for people who are unaware, like what he said, where the controversy came in. What Armin is referring to is how after this attack happened, Mufti Abu Layth put out a video on his YouTube channel just titled like "They Invaded My Home," where he talks about this situation. And very, very early on in the video, he moves from like describing what happened, the effect it had on his family, to trying to clarify and justify his views. And like Armin just highlighted, in ways that we interpreted as saying like, because he talks about how it's his opinion that Israel is a terrorist state. I use that word for the YouTube algorithm. I'm sure you know what I mean. He lays out that I am a Muslim. He says the Shahada like 3 times in that video. And to an outsider like us, we were like, well, what if you did support Israel? Like, does that make this okay? And I mean, I kind of wanted to talk about some of the other really controversial things he said in a few videos about Israel and Palestine. Like, he talks about how Jerusalem isn't that holy or isn't that sacred to him. Like, Al-Aqsa Mosque, like, isn't that holy. It's like he basically was trying to say, we shouldn't die over this land. We shouldn't have our Muslim brothers and sisters die over this land, this bricks and mortar, when for us, like, Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem is the 3rd holiest site in Islam. Like, for Jews, it's the 1st holiest. Like, they're not going to treat it poorly. And he says this so casually. And the way that other people reacted to this was so strongly. And like, because Armin and I watch a lot of people, including people who very strongly disagree with Mufti Abu Layth, refute him. And they were so upset by his inference that Al-Aqsa is not holy, is not what a super sacred site for Islam and should be defended. But before we get into what they would say, I thought his argument that they're not going to treat it like a toilet, to use his words, like they're going to take care of it, was a little ill-educated, because a lot of people, like, if you're not familiar, like the Wailing Wall is like part of it's like down here, and it's the last wall standing from the sacred temple, Jewish temple, and then like on top of this like kind of compound areas where Al-Aqsa Mosque is. Well, for super Orthodox Jewish people, like, it is, and I'm not speaking for everyone, it is their intention that they will one day rebuild that temple. To do that, they're going to have to get rid of that mosque. So I feel like he didn't understand maybe that full context, but Armin, I feel like you would probably have some interesting comments about how out of touch, I guess, his attitude is in comparison to others.
I mean, yeah, Mufti Abu Layth's views on Islam are, I don't know what I don't know what his views are, but he's so out of touch with what mainstream Islam, like, his interpretations on scripture and hadith in the Quran is so flexible that you could get the same interpretation out of green eggs and ham if you wanted to, if you were that flexible with how you could interpret the Quran and the hadith. Like, he just has a conclusion in mind, and then he takes the Quran and hadith and he gets conclusions out of it that are so wacky. They're so wacky. They have nothing to do. And he calls himself a mufti. I mean, it's just the only way that his views can become somewhat popular is with attacks like this, right? Like, I mean, honestly, like, there's no chance he's like, I don't know, his views are so out of touch with mainstream Islam, and there is no way that you could get this conclusions out of it. Like, the thing is that, unfortunately, like, when the Salafi Muslims, when they come and show Muslims how he's wrong about Islam and about scripture, I mean, they're right, to be honest. Like, it's so obvious that they're right. Let me just, yeah. So I don't know, but again, I don't know if none of this is just, I shouldn't even say it because it's obvious. But yeah, to your point, when he said, like, oh yeah, if Muslims leave Israel, they're going to be treating this whole area very nicely because it's their number one holy site, so don't worry about it. Like, no, it is their number one holy site, but the mosque and the Dome of the Rock is blocking the construction of their temple. So if there's no Palestinians there, they're just gonna go and tear apart the mosque and the Dome of the Rock so that they could finish building the temple. So just because it's their number one holy place, that doesn't mean they're gonna not destroy anything. Obviously, they don't want the mosque there. They don't want the Dome of the Rock. They don't want the Al-Aqsa Mosque and also the Dome of the Rock there. So they're gonna get rid of that. So I don't know, like how he's so out of touch with politics, he's so out of touch with Islam, and he's so out of touch with the Ummah. Like he doesn't even know. Like he sometimes, like when people react to his takes, like he says something, and I'm like, oof, that is gonna get a reaction, and then he gets a reaction, not this kind of reaction. Like obviously this is not to be expected, but like even when people get offended, he comes and he's like, he gets shocked that people are offended. And like, how out of touch do you have to be with the Muslim community not to know that this is not going to get a reaction? This is why here's Mufti Abu Layth. Let me tell you, when you came out and said that maybe like when the video came to surface, that Muslims were reviewing the fact that you're saying Palestinians have to leave Israel, I knew that this is going to get a reaction more than usual, and I suspected that this reaction is going to be so strong that these people that are pointing out how bad your take is, they will probably have to remove the video because of the consequences of the videos that they put up. So I downloaded those videos, right? This is how much I'm in touch with the Muslim community, Mufti Abu Layth. And they did take down those videos. They attacked your house, and then they eventually had to take down those videos. So I'm here for you. If you ever want to get, like, maybe understand the Muslim community a little bit better, I, as an ex-Muslim atheist, can teach you a little bit more about the Muslim community and what to expect, because you seem to be completely out of touch, right? And also, you need better security at your house. Like, seriously, one thing I suggest is one of those security bars on the windows. Like, like you live in Europe's Pakistan right now, right? You are in Birmingham, and you have the wildest take. That's not a safe area for you to, like, when I saw people just walk up to your house and the windows are so easily accessible, I like, what are you doing, man? Like, you don't know, like, do you know where you live? And have you not seen your takes? Like, you need to go on Amazon.uk or something, or I don't know, go somewhere, and you need to get one of those bars that you install on the windows, the metal bars, right? And you need to fortify your doors. Like, that was so easy to get into your house. How could you not, like, like, for the sake of your family, man, do have better security in your house? I hope you have, like, CCTV and everything everywhere in your house as well. Like, I hope, like, I don't know, like, I hope
They
you
will
have, like,
now. They will
I
now.
mean, if you didn't by now, that's a very irresponsible. Given given your takes and given where you live, if you don't have that kind of security at your house, it's very irresponsible to your family. Like, you better, like, I hope you already had that and you have footage right now to share with the police. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I think that's one thing when this happened, it shocked me. And we were talking to Ali Rizvi about this, and he was like, I can only imagine this happening. Maybe not only, but like, this makes sense to me that this happened in England. You know, like, I can't imagine something like this happening in the United States. I would think they would be highly unlikely. We don't really have that kind of attitude here. Like, but this happening in the UK, it seems on par, or even in Western Europe. Like, there's just this difference in culture where there's this real intensity to it that is shocking. Like, watching the video, my heart just sank. Like, it's everyone's worst nightmare. And just to hear, like, these women or girls screaming in the background, it's horrifying. So Yeah, even though, Armin and I personally disagree with some of the ways that Mufti Abu Layth maybe came out and explained himself, so to speak, after this happened, or the way that it happened. Obviously, we're horrified for him. We want the best for him and healing for his children. When Hara Sultan made the video about it and showed pictures of his daughter, I almost cried. Makes me so upset.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you it's easy to make you cry.
I mean, yes, but you didn't have to do that to me.
I know I didn't have to. That's what makes it even better. All right. Anyways, Mufti, if you ever want to, Mufti Abu Layth, if you ever want to talk to us, or if you're scared of me because you can't, maybe have Susanna on. Yeah.
I'm very friendly.
Yeah, Susanna is more friendly than me.
Hey guys, YouTube has fully demonetized our channel for supposedly hateful and harmful conduct, without telling us what we did wrong. If we get to 1,000 patrons, we will be able to keep paying all our team, our editors, our artists, without ever having to worry about monetization again, which would be amazing. Yay! So please support Atheist Republic on Patreon. Link in the description below.